Hello everybody and welcome to race number 6 of the Stock Drop Gaming League in the GP2 section. I'm here once again in the Lotus alongside Chris Dixon for the first time as my teammate and looking for a good result. Yeah, let's take a quick glance at the standings, how they stood after the race in Spain. Robin led the way with 75 points. Just 6 points back though was Mitchell, and Matt was in third place on 59 points, with Samster lying in fourth on 50 points after winning his first 2 races in the league. Shaney, Itachi, myself and Bryant were all very, very close in that table. So we now move on to qualifying, with this being my best lap after Codemasters decided that it would be a good idea to cut out qualifying with about 40 seconds to go. So we go into the first corner, take a really nice line through here as we get caught up with one of the Mercedes, but no time lost there. And now we go up into the tricky part of the first sector. You really got to take as much as you can of this track. It is very difficult, you can't pick any more out of the track, as there's a little bit of debris on the track. I actually haven't got a full front wing here, even on the qualifying run, as we go into the very, very tight hairpin, trying not to go beneath 30 miles per hour and clipping that apex on the outside. As now we go through the famous Monaco tunnel. The sound on this game is absolutely immense as we emerge from it blinded by the light, braking at the 100 meter board, trying to take every little bit of this chicane that you can get. Watching out for that little barrier on the right hand side, which I nearly actually hit, and that would have been the end of my qualifying, as now we go through the tricky fast chicane. This is probably the most difficult actually of the 3 chicanes, the final one, as I actually do clip the wall on the outside, take a really nice wide line into the first part of Raskas before going into Anthony Nose, the second part. DRS Open curves across the line for a 1:13.7. Down into lean mix, and here is the grid. UGK Starkey took pole position on his first outing with a 1:12 dead. What a lap that was, with Mitchell 3/10 back. Samster just a 10th more back from that, with Robin in 4th. Shaney, Matt, myself and Bryant made up the top 8 with very familiar names, as you can see in that top 8, as I've just said. Everybody went for the soft tyre, and I'm pretty sure it was the same for the bottom 6 drivers on the grid. Speed Demon was 2 seconds off the pace, with Chris disappointing in 10th. I know he was very disappointed with that. Jitter and Itachi, another one of the front runners this season, down in 12th, with Vortex and Mackenzie occupying the final 2 grid spots. Online Adam and Red J were not in the race, with Red J serving his 1 race suspension. So then, here we are for the race. Little graphic there. And now this is the bit that counts. Starkey on pole. Myself in 7th, with Chris back in 10th. This was all set for an important race with one goal. Keep your front wing. As look, but don't stare. The 3, 4 and 5 lights appear, and very quick away. Some people probably weren't expecting that and probably couldn't get the revs quite right. Matt was one of those, as he gets caught up with Shaney very slow off the line. I managed to slip up the inside of both of them, and now up to P5. And now Robin looks as if he's going to try and get the run on Samster, and is trying every way possible to try and get past him, as I really nearly clipped my front wing there. As we now skip to the end of lap 1, as Samster seems to have lost it, and he's into the wall, as we could see there. And now Robin locks up. I go really wide into Raskas, and it's all happening on this opening lap, trying to avoid those famous Monaco walls. We're now at the end of lap 2, into Raskas, with Mitchell slipping down the positions as I come up his inside. That is a nice move. You'll be seeing more of that later on with me and Mitchell, as we now skip to the end of lap 3, with myself going up to 2nd position after Starkey deciding to pit very early and braking then under the F1 2013 board. Just trying to hold position now as we reach lap 10. Time for the first pit stops. Not really much happened, as you can expect in Monaco. The instructions, I guess, were just to not make any stupid moves, and I think people are sensible enough to do that, and very slow pit stop. But I didn't even have to replace my front wing either, which was really frustrating, because I probably would have had time to do such a thing. But yeah, had to wait for Mitchell. Idiot. I'm joking. Yeah, it's good to have a little bit of competition, I guess. Gave him a bit of time back though. And now UGK Star, can't even get my words out, has destroyed his vehicle. Now this was anticipation. Would the safety car come out for the first time this season? As we now come through the tunnel, looking as if it's not gonna come out this time. But there it is, safety car has been deployed, and that has brought me right back into the race for the victory. And at the end of lap 16, it's ready to come in. Robin already got a little bit of time on me. He's kept right up with the safety car, hasn't dropped back at all. With Shaney right on my tail, this could prove costly. But no, managed to get a decent run into turn 1. Robin may have got away even with a little lock-up, but for this time, it's okay. As now we are on lap 18, and Bryant has destroyed his vehicle. 8th in the championship. He was lying before this race, just 1 point behind myself. And surely this was going to trigger another safety car on the racing line. The incident was, as Robin actually just pumps in the fastest lap of the race and has managed to get 4 seconds on me in the space of just a few laps. He would be really frustrated if the safety car did come out. Running on the soft tyre, so this is an awkward time for the final pit stop to occur. You'd have to run more than half the race on the same tyre, so it was sort of something that wouldn't be happening. But the safety car has been deployed, same position on the racetrack pretty much. As now you can see I am in the lead. Robin actually decided to pit during that phase, and well, I think I was a little bit overwhelmed that I was actually in the lead of a race, as I managed to hold the pack up really nicely. And then it was a perfect restart. It really couldn't have gone better, as I dropped Shaney and give Chris the best opportunity of snatching P2. Those two phases have really brought my teammate back into the picture, as now he is up to P2 after passing Shaney, and he dives into the pits actually at the end of this lap. Now I was really going to have to go for it. My scheduled pit stop was lap 24, but was I going to lose too much time? Now we're going to find out as we come into the pits. Having to make a front wing change after slightly clipping one of the barriers quite early on in the stint. I think it was actually only a lap after I pitted. I think it was only about lap 11, so I had to actually go both safety car phases with only, well, it was only actually a small end plate that did come off. But now, as we come across the line, the pit line, and Chris is a long way ahead of me. It's really not worked out well coming in that lap later. And at Monaco, it's not great, as Chris there really goes wide, and a little end plate actually flies off from somewhere, and DRS assisted. It's really difficult to get the move done here. Going to be sensible about it. Chris locks up, and I managed to take that opportunity to take P5. Itachi, I know, still has to pit, as oh, Chris, big tap from behind, and he actually takes the place there. Right, he's not going to give the place back to me, I don't think. I think it was probably more lag than anything, but it's still a little bit disappointing for myself. But Chris and Itachi go into each other. That is surely going to be Itachi's race over. And yeah, as you can see, just went into him there, as now Mitchell ahead of me, and I dive up the inside. Oh my word, brave move. Do I have any balls left? As we now run through the tunnel on lap 37, Chris is ahead of me, and Robin, we've now discovered, has a 30-second time penalty for corner cutting. So we'd just have to finish within 30 seconds of him. But of course I wanted to take the win, but that wasn't looking possible with my tyres in such bad condition. Matt going with the options on the final phase. He was gaining bags on me. Now, could I be able to hold off for second place in a Lotus 1-2? Chris with the victory in the bag now. Surely we'd be able to do it. But Matt, the warrior that he is, the silent force as he's been called throughout the league, as he tries one at the inside and that wasn't going to work, but as the nice guy that he is, he lets me through. For my first podium of the season, Chris takes the win. Wow, what a race. What a race that was.
Just fantastic.
With,
18 points.
Chris, myself, Matt taking up the podium, Mitchell also getting a time penalty, as well as Robin. Well, that left the standings wide open with Robin and Mitchell tied on 79 points, Matt only 5 points back, and Samster only picking up a 6th position. Chris, myself and Shaney were only separated by 5 points, with Itachi dropping a little bit back, 9 points from myself. The Constructors' Championship was looking good for Lotus with the maximum 43 points, but Mercedes still led the way. So, it was great to see 2 Lotuses on the podium, but would we be able to see the same in Jerez next week? I'm not sure. You'll have to join me next week to find out. Goodbye.